The Wild. This was Disney's attempt at trying to cash in on Madagascar's success. And it failed miserably. Here's why. So the movie stars a lion named Samson, played by Kiefer Sutherland, who's trying to teach his son Ryan, played by Greg Sipes, how to roar, but it's not really going too well. Samson tells his son that he was born in the wild and tells stories about all of his adventures while there. But we find out that later in the movie, that was a complete lie, and that Samson was actually a circus animal. And Samson's own father was disappointed in him. So of course, Samson doesn't want Ryan to go through the same thing he went through. Unfortunately, Samson doesn't have the heart to tell Ryan the truth. But when Ryan gets inadvertently captured and sent to the wild, it's up to Samson to get him back. Accompanying Samson on his journey is his best friend, a squirrel named Benny, played by Jim Belushi, a giraffe and Benny's love interest named Bridget, played by Janine Garofalo, a not-so-bright anaconda named Larry, played by Richard Kind, and a sarcastic koala, played by Eddie Izzard. When they reach the wild in search of Ryan, they come across a wildebeest tribe inside of an active volcano, led by a crazed wildebeest named Kazar, played by William Shatner. Kazar wants revenge on the lions for eating his species, and wants to get this revenge by eating a lion. This scared me when I first saw this movie, and I was 8 years old at the time. He also has a comical second-in-command named Blag, played by Patrick Warburton. You know, Krunk from Emperor's New Groove and Joe Swanson from Family Guy. So when Samson reunites with Ryan and tells him the truth, let's just say Ryan doesn't really take this very well. But all the characters are captured minus Samson and Benny, and the two go out to find them. When Nigel was captured by the wildebeest, they worshipped him as a god. You see, back in New York, there was this toy called Nigel the I Like You Koala, and it annoyed the hell out of Nigel, but apparently it saved Kazar's life. So now, Nigel becomes what they call the Great Hymn. When Samson and Benny get to the lair, there's a final battle between Samson and Kazar. And in the end, both Samson and Ryan finally find their roars, and they defeat Kazar. And our main heroes, along with the wildebeest who turned against Kazar, head back to New York. And that's pretty much where the movie ends. But now that the summary's out of the way, what are my thoughts on it? Unlike Madagascar, which made the animal designs cartoony, The Wild took a more realistic approach. The reason Madagascar works is because the designs are appealing to look at. The designs in The Wild are just creepy. It's one thing to have characters that look realistic, but to make them do cartoony things anyway just doesn't make any sense. The cartoon zaniness works in Madagascar because the designs are already cartoony. In this movie, it's just a mess. Overall, I give this movie a 4 out of 10. I do not recommend this movie, and it should just be forgotten about.